Welcome to Arsenal Fans Mouthpiece, the football show where we give you the very latest on Arsenal Football Club. Of course, you know that Arsenal took on Newcastle United in that epic match, a match between the first on the table and of course the third team on the log. And after 90 minutes of play, Arsenal and Newcastle drew goalless. And of course, after that match, a lot has been said about the game. Arsenal fans are still not happy. So many Arsenal fans called me last night and they were so disappointed with the officiating in that particular match. Arsenal playing at home. That's the very first time that Arsenal is not winning a match this season playing at home. And you want to expect that this is one for the taking for Arsenal Football Club. But eventually it ended goalless. But again, there's some key decisions in that match. There was supposed to be 2 penalties. And of course, Arsenal coach Mikel Arteta also said it that the officiating in that match was scandalous. Very, very scandalous. Because we expected that there should be at least there should be 1 penalty in that match, but I don't know what the referee saw. And of course, if VAR was not even involved in the very first one, and even the second one, nobody took us to VAR, and Arsenal fans felt that perhaps VAR is no longer relevant. If VAR is indeed relevant, then why shouldn't they take those decisions to VAR so that VAR can be able to take a particular position on it? It's a sad one because I felt that if Arsenal got a penalty against Newcastle United, perhaps the boys would have scored a goal and that match would have ended 1-0 in favor of Arsenal. But it has happened, and of course, we are still looking at the high points. We are looking at the talking points. Yeah, the first penalty was that pull on Gabriel. In fact, in that match, we saw 2 pulls in that match. One got Martin Odegaard a yellow card, and of course, another pull got Nketiah another yellow card. Now there was a pull in the box. In the Newcastle United box, and we expected that the referee should have seen that pull. That was a major pull, and such pulls over time has resulted in penalties. But this time the referee decided to throw blind eyes, and of course eventually the penalty was not given, and that got Arsenal fans fuming. And towards the end of the match too, there was a blatant penalty. Yes, that was a penalty inside the box, inside the Newcastle box, and all Arsenal fans screamed. But again, they did not take the action to VAR, and at the end of the day, the penalty was not given. So it ended goalless. Arsenal versus Newcastle United ended goalless, and what it means is that Arsenal has gone 8 points clear at the top. Of course, you know that Manchester City still has a match to play, and that match will be played on Thursday against Chelsea. Man City will be visiting Chelsea, and if Chelsea beats Man City, or perhaps if it ends in a draw, that means Arsenal, the point gap will be reduced to 7 points. But if they lose, it means that Arsenal will retain their 8 points gap on the top of the EPL table. So Arsenal fans are expectant, and I understand that almost all Arsenal fans are now supporting Chelsea ahead of the match on Thursday against Manchester City. So let's hope that perhaps result on that day will favor us. But quickly, you know that on this show, what we normally do is to take you into the transfer window. But before we go into the transfer window, we want you to press the like button. We also want you to subscribe and be part of this show, because once you subscribe, anytime we come up on this show, you'll be able to see what we are putting on air. So we expect that you subscribe and be part of us going forward. So quickly, let's take you to the transfer window and let's see what is the latest from the window. Mikhailo Mudryk is still the big news. Mikhailo Mudryk is still the major news. And of course, we understand that Shakhtar Donetsk chief Sinner is due in London as Chelsea aim to outbid Arsenal for Mudryk. Of course, this one is coming from tribalfootball.com. Chelsea Football Club is now interested in getting Mikhailo Mudryk, and that is a sad one, because when Chelsea put their mouth, they put their money. So I know that it's going to be a tough one now, but Mikhailo Mudryk already has an agreement with Arsenal Football Club. So even if Chelsea decide to put their money, I think that it's going to be another big one for them to convince the player to come to Chelsea, because the player has always said that he wants to play for Arsenal Football Club. I think that Arsenal offered them £60 million, but they feel that the £62 million was put on the table by Arsenal, but they felt that the £62 million is still not enough. Now, that is the second offer that Arsenal has put on the table, but Shakhtar Donetsk seem not impressed with what Arsenal is putting on the table. So as it is now, they've thrown the bid open, and I understand that Chelsea has shown keen interest, and now they are coming down to London to speak with Chelsea and also speak with Arsenal chiefs. So welcome back. I know Arsenal fans are not happy. Like I said, that it's one match that you expected that Arsenal to win. I want to say that the boys were not too poor in that match. And then quickly, I want to do my players' rating for this match. I think that in goal, goalkeeper Ramsdale had, he didn't have a busy day, so I want to give Ramsdale a 7. Right full back, Ben White had a very good game before he was substituted towards the end of the match. I want to give Ben White a 7. And of course, in central defense, Saliba, Pierre Gabriel Magalhaes, I think both players should get a 7 each. 7 for Saliba, William Saliba, and of course 7 for Gabriel Magalhaes. And of course, from the left side of defense, Zinchenko, he was a little bit shaky at the beginning, but he soon got into his strides, and of course he had a wonderful game. I will give Zinchenko a 6 in that match. And of course, going into the midfield, Thomas Partey. Today, Thomas Partey was my man of the match. He controlled the game from start to finish. So I'll give Thomas Partey a 8 in that match. I think he deserves 8 in that match. While Odegaard was poor. Odegaard in the second half of the match, I didn't even see Martin Odegaard. So I'll give Martin Odegaard a 6 in this match. Gabriel Martinelli too should get a 6. Bukayo Saka should get a 7. Yes, 7 for Bukayo Saka. Martinelli 6, and then of course Nketiah, I think Nketiah should get a 7. He had a shot on goal, very good shot on goal, and I think that he also had a very good game. So 7 for Nketiah, and Martinelli should get a 6, while Saka should get a 7. Well, that's my players rating, and of course I think that we should just look ahead to the next match and hope for the very best for the boys. Like I said, if you want to be part of this show going forward, please kindly subscribe and press the notification button, and of course also give us some like on this show. We're so happy to have you as part of this show, and we hope to do it better when we come back next time. The 2020 World Cup in Qatar has come and gone, and of course the excitement has blossomed. Of course, everybody is still talking about the World Cup. Messi, Kylian Mbappe, those are the stars of the World Cup. Those two wonderful footballers are going back to Paris Saint-Germain, and of course we are the fans of the EPL. Every Arsenal football fan is focused on the start of the second half of the EPL season. Arsenal is top of the table, and on this show, this is the biggest sports show, the biggest football show, where we'll focus on Arsenal Football Club and lots about the EPL. We'll be discussing how Arsenal wants to pick the league after so many years. And of course, whoever is coming to Arsenal will give you how you need to know on this show. My partner will join me every week to give you the best of excitement.